All right, what's up, guys? This is Mitchell Reese, your Cedar City realtor, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite way to do real estate investing. I'm getting ready to start the process myself to use this strategy for the many years to come. Before we get started, thanks for tuning into the video, guys. Like I said, I'm a realtor here in Cedar City, so if you need help with buying or selling or investing in Cedar City or Southern Utah in general, give me a call or text. My number's up there. It's also in the description. And don't forget to come back to the channel, like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell because we're doing tons of content, stuff about investing, stuff about Cedar City itself, and many tours of the great homes, especially new construction, that are available here in Cedar City and Southern Utah in general. But without further ado, let's get into the video, guys. So my favorite way to invest in real estate is known as lease options. And the final term of it, with all the different things that we add to make it perfected, is called compassionate financing. There's a reason for that, but we'll get into that later. But traditionally, people, when they get into real estate investing, probably the most popular way, there's flipping, there's wholesaling, and one of the bigger ways is the BRRRR method, which B, quadruple R. B stands for buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. And really, it's a good strategy to have that cash flow. But there are some flaws to it that make it not quite my favorite. It's what I was about to do, but I found this other method that takes the least amount of time, effort, and gives you the most return and the least risk as well. Just renting out is good and everything, but then there comes how it almost becomes like a second job. Playing landlord, fixing toilets, having your tenants text you all the time about different things that are broken. And maybe you can handle one or two properties on your own, but once you're going past that, you really need to use this as like a whole job unless you get property managers. And when you have property managers, that cuts into the amount you make each month. And so it's just kind of to decide on what you would rather do. And then a lot of people get so sick of all the work that comes with it, they sell, and that doesn't necessarily mean you'd make a profit or even get your money back, because that depends on the market as well. That strategy is definitely market dependent. There's always going to be renters, so if you plan on holding for a long time, then you should be good with being able to find renters if you have it priced right and everything. But getting that out of the way, let's talk about lease options, or AKA compassionate financing. This is my favorite because, like I said, it's the least risk, takes the least amount of time and effort, and has the highest return on what you put into it, which can even be down to zero, but we're not going to talk about in this video. It's similar to buying and renting out. You get a house and you rent it out to a family, but you give them what's called a lease option in the contract. You have them put down a down payment, which is technically an option consideration, so that down the line, typically 2 years down the road, they can exercise the option to buy the house. So you are getting a down payment from them, and then they're renting, and you're getting that cash flow for however many years that you're renting it to them. And after that's all said and done, you get the profits of what the house is going to sell for. And it doesn't depend on the market, because within the contract, you make sure to put in a minimum price for the house so that you don't lose out on this investment. It's a really great strategy that I'm getting ready to start buying my first properties with. So once again, you have in the contract a lease option. You get a down payment, you get that rent, and they're usually willing to pay a little bit more so that they can build equity in their house, in their home, and then you sell it later down the road when they have built up their credit, or because they weren't able to get traditional financing. So it in the end gives you a great profit compared to if you were to just rent it out and eventually sell it because you got sick of all the work that comes with just buying and renting. So you might be wondering, why aren't there any property management expenses, or why aren't you doing all this work to keep the property up? Well, because it's going to be their house eventually, you have in the contract that they are going to be taking care of the house, be taking care of all the renovations and everything to keep it up, because it's going to be their house and they're happy to do it. They are grateful for this opportunity to be able to buy a house when banks and traditional financing weren't helping them before. They were turning them away, saying, no, you can't buy this house, you can't get a loan. And so they're grateful for this. They're able to pay a little bit more and willing to pay a little bit more each month on the rent, because once again, depending on the down payment that they give you, if they pay a higher price, they're able to build equity through each monthly payment to eventually have a good chunk of equity once the house sells to them. I know it's a really basic covering of what a lease option or compassionate financing is, but it's really what I think is the best way to go. And I'm not the best teacher about it. I just thought I'd introduce it to you guys because it really got my brain, it blew my mind. Really, it did. And it got me thinking about it like crazy. I've been learning so much about it, reading books and watching as much free content as I can. And the guy to really learn in detail about lease options, his name is Chris Crone. He has his own YouTube channel. If you'd like a link to it, make sure to ask in the comments below. And that'll be the end of this video, guys. I'm glad I could share with you compassionate financing, how we can help others get into homes and make you some money on the other side as well. So great investing opportunity. And if you have found a home, would either like a partner or a realtor in that transaction, make sure to give me a call. And don't forget to like and subscribe on the video to talk about more investing, to talk and see more houses, and to talk about the city of Cedar City and St. George in southern Utah, to show how amazing it is. Just come back to the channel. Make sure to hit the bell notification so you don't miss when a video goes live. But that's all I have to say for you guys. Thanks for coming and watching. Love you guys. We'll see you on the next video.